Good evening, welcome back. We have got ourselves the last and third match of the evening. We're going to see both teams that we have already seen before. We've seen them play up against Empire, and now we'll see them against each other. It is Relax. You are doing fine up against Ahead Gaming for this third match. Of course, once again, I am joined by G Advance. G Advance, welcome back.
Sup, yeah, good to be here. I'm interested for this game because both of these teams, they have just lost versus Empire, which, I mean, isn't
There's
too
no shame in
surprising.
that.
Empire, yeah, there's no shame in that. Empire are absolutely crazy right now. They really do hit hard. That said, I think going into this game, I think the smart money is on Relax, because the thing that I noticed about their lineup is they've been playing with a much more group up and push lineup, and that at the moment is probably the most popular way of doing things. That said, they just completely blew what I say out of the water, because they go and pick up an Ember Spirit, which is not generally a push hero, more of a ganker.
Yeah, and I think, looking at the two games that we've just seen, obviously both of these teams did not win, but is there anything that you can take away from both of the games that we will see back? Like, is this going to be a very aggressive game, or was the only reason that the games were so aggressive because Empire already started forcing out aggression so early on? Is it going to be more slower paced game, or do they want to fight?
I think, already just based on their picks, they want to fight. Both these heroes want to fight a fair amount. Dazzle doesn't want to do it in an aggressive way. He sits at the back of the fight, but he's there to support somebody else and to keep them going in the fight. He's there so you can keep on healing them up, so that when they do drop really low, you can drop off the Shallow Grave on top of them so they can't die, and, keep them alive for that much longer. And Relax, they pick up Ember Spirit, probably one of the most active ganking style heroes in the game at the moment. You can go, AFK farm with him, but generally it's very easy to punish. You just go into his jungle and find him, and he can try and escape, but if you have good initiation, which Ahead already do, they pick up the Batrider. They have good initiation versus Relax, and I think Batrider's a nice hero to pick up versus Ember Spirit. At the very least, it allows you to pull him out of position and, focus him down, and if Relax don't instantly counter-initiate, if they haven't got their Nyx Assassin with a Blink Dagger or something like that, then they could struggle, they could lose their Ember Spirit right at the start of the fight. Yeah, I think this will be a fairly aggressive game again.
Yeah, we're gonna see Centaur and Ancient Operation were banned out, as well as Invoker and Lycan. At the start, like a month ago, we saw a lot of different heroes getting banned out, but it feels like maybe the dust kind of is settling, and people know like which heroes are banned out, because we see the same heroes more and more banned out. Unlike what we saw a month ago, where you couldn't predict what was banned out because it was different every single time. We have a Storm being removed. I'm kind of expecting Relax to remove the Life Stealer as well, because of course Life Stealer with that Batrider, yeah, there we go, would have been very scary against especially Ember Spirit, because if you rage, he can't do anything to you basically. At least not early on. He kind of needs his Flame Guard to do a lot of damage for early on. So I like the ban out for the Life Stealer. I'm curious to see what Ahead is going to go for instead, what kind of core hero they want, and I'm also interested to see how Relax is going to run that Ember Spirit. Is it going to be mid? Is it going to be on the safe lane? How do you think they're going to run this?
I think generally most teams at this point, they started gravitating more and more towards the solo mid Ember Spirit. The thing that actually interests me more than that is how they decide to skill the Ember Spirit. There are still people out there who, some of the most notable Ember Spirit players are actually still people who use the max Searing Chains and max your Sleight of Fist build. That, however, it does leave you way more vulnerable than you normally are, particularly to a hero like Batrider, who's going to be pulling you through flames the whole time. I would want Flame Guard, personally, in this game. I mean, that's just me. I think the skill build is just generally better. But that said, the playstyle does change a fair amount for Ember Spirit. If you do max that Sleight of Fist, you basically need more farm. You are better at getting the farm generally because you're playing a lot safer, you're playing back more, you're not jumping right into the middle of the fights. I don't know, it's interesting, but the thing about that is that until you have, a crit at the very least, and some other item before that, be it Deso or be it, multiple Battle Furies, you aren't going to do very much versus the side of Ahead, because Ahead have a Dazzle, right? So if you go and, spam your Sleight of Fist from the back of the fight, Ahead back off a little bit, they heal everybody up, and then what have you done? You know, you've not done too much. And then ahead, they can go for a full-scale initiation, and if the fights are very fast, then Ember Spirit with Max Sleight of Fist doesn't do as much damage, and with Disruptor now as well, they pick up a good hero versus the Ember Spirit. He's going to need this Flame Guard.
Yeah, he is, because he is also, well, he can't even use his Flame Guard if he's stuck under a Static Storm. That's going to be the main thing. If he is jumping around between Fire Remnants and you know where he's going to be, even if he's doing a Slay of Fist just for harassment, if Disruptor wants to initiate, then that is the perfect time, because he knows where Ember Spirit is going to end up in, and he can instantly make sure that he's not going to get away from there. So that's going to be a scary thing for that Ember in this game, as Relax pick themselves up a Shadow Shaman. We saw this support earlier today. It could be seen as greedy. It really also depends what other support they pick up together with it. Thinking Nyx Assassin on an offlane here for Relax in this case.
5 seconds
I'm wondering if they were watching the game just now and might be trying out a Leshrac for themselves.
Reserve
It could be the
time.
case. I'm also curious, why is that Dragon Knight banned out? Because, you know, Dragon Knight, we've not seen him that often lately, and it's an interesting ban to see. It kind of makes me believe that Ahead is planning on picking something against which the Dragon Knight would be especially strong. But, the thing that Dragon Knight is strong in is that he is...
nothing.
Is nothing. Is that
Just-
he is also
he's
not
not
weak
strong
against
versus any
anything.
hero.
He is not weak
Yeah.
against any hero, but he's also not specifically strong against any hero. So I'm kind of curious about that ban.
Yeah, and Dragon Knight as well, also generally a mid hero. He could go onto the safe lane this game, and it would give them some good push. That might be what they're thinking is, you know, right now, when they banned that hero, Relax didn't have great pushing heroes, but they do pick up the Shadow Shaman for themselves now. I don't know, because the thing is, Dragon Knight is normally a solo mid hero, and like you said, Dragon Knight's, the big reason why you pick him is because he doesn't lose any time, and
Dire team pick.
well, I mean, he loses the lane, but he doesn't care normally about losing the lane unless he gets completely crushed. Ahead, though, their plan seems to be putting the Viper mid versus the Ember Spirit and trying to shut him down that way. We have seen a few times, I mean, we talked about this with Ember Spirit a couple of times. Some teams will either completely ignore him, they'll never ban him, they'll never pick him, and he'll get through the stage
10
all the
seconds
time. He'll just be
remaining.
completely ignored in the draft. Or, he's like first pick, first ban material. It depends a lot on the teams. And I think a lot of that is just some teams are more comfortable trying to shut him down.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I guess Ahead is comfortable shutting him down with that Disruptor. I guess it also depends on which hero, if they can actually get Disruptor, or a hero that naturally builds an Orchid, like a Storm Spirit, which was already banned out by Relax. Relax who pick up an Enchantress now, so they're going to have Shadow Shaman Enchantress as a support combination. Does mean that they have a pretty strong
10
roaming
seconds
combination. I'm
remaining.
thinking Enchantress with a creep with a smoke. Enchantress on their own is already
5
pretty strong at
seconds
roaming.
remaining.
And with the Shadow Shaman added to that, that could potentially add 2 extra disables to that, or a disable on a nuke, or nuke.
Radiant's team pick.
That is pretty strong coming out from Relax. And against a Viper, Viper is a strong mid, sure, but he doesn't have an escape. So that's going to be something that maybe Ahead has to worry about. A Dazzle and Disruptor could rotate them for themselves as well, though, as a Razor is the last one to get picked up by Relax, which is absolutely horrible
This is a
for that
smart
Slardar.
counter pick. Yeah, this is a very smart counter pick. He's horrible for the Slardar during the mid game because Slardar just doesn't want to try and go on the Razor. If the Razor survives for more than a few seconds, then he's going to start sapping away his damage. And every time Slardar tries to use the amplified damage on him as well, it's actually really difficult to deal with because you amp damage the Razor and you instantly lose all your move speed.
Yep.
Where you get slowed, you lose you get damaged as well, and you get purged as well. So you instantly become a lot slower, and then you can't continue to chase down the Razor because he is fairly fast, at least with items and a few levels in an unstable current. And it's also good versus Viper. Now Relax, they can put that Ember Spirit up on the safe lane instead. If they put the Razor in the mid, he should do fairly well versus the Viper. He'll struggle a little bit for last hits now and again, but he'll be one of the few heroes that's able to actually lane against the Viper because of that static link. I think this is a great counter pick for them. It's not a hero we see often, but fantastic counter pick for them.
Yeah, we might have a remake for maybe the server. Maybe.
I have no idea why we would have a remake.
Me neither. I'm like, there was some Russian text, but I didn't know what it was, so you know, I can't translate that. No name in lobby. Oh yeah.
Is that actually a problem?
Well, it depends if he's joined as a coach. Can we see if there's a coach?
I don't know.
Can we see the lobby? No.
We can't. No, there's nothing we can say.
I don't know. Okay. Well, let's take a look, because one thing that I find important about that Razor for now is that he apparently is not going middle. But
They're going aggressive tri lane.
Yeah.
This is smart, actually.
30
But it's
seconds
forcing
to
people
battle.
to go face boots, where both Viper and Slaughter actually normally wants treads. But now they kind of have to go face boots because the Razor is going to go for face boots. You kind of have to be able to get away from the statics or from the static link. And if they go for Facebook, I mean, fine, they can go for Facebook, but then they have to get something else that makes them more sustainable. Like normally you go for phase drums for that very reason, to have anti-extra movement speed / attack damage and some sustainability
The battle
and
begins.
survivability in the form of drums. So interesting to see what kind of boots they will build. I mean, I'd never actually said that will be interesting, but I think this game, that is something to take note of. We have got, of course, Relax on the Dire side, ahead on the Radiant side. Let's take a look at who is playing what. On the side of Relax, you are doing fine. It is Friday, otherwise known as Yoki, playing the Razor. He is going to be on the aggressive tri lane, supported by Dread on his Shadow Shaman. And it looks like it's going to be a dual lane for the moment. Ember Spirit in the middle will be played by Tamar Wild. And indeed, he is alone for the moment. Enchantress picking up a creep, played by Windix. He actually, instead of Dance in Trance, he actually tagged up as his original name. Doesn't happen often, so should be happy for that one. Enchantress for him. And last but not least, it is normally the off laner, but because there is now a semi-aggressive lane, it is Shaklo on the Nyx Assassin on the safe lane solo, where he is having a very difficult time already. Look at that. 5 stacks of sticky napalm. Like, you don't want to die.
He might even go down.
He
He
is
doesn't
gonna-
have level 2.
But he
yeah,
is,
this
oh my
could be
god, he
it.
can turn around for a stun. He doesn't have a stun. Stick charges though. Oh, that's First Blood. Wow, killed by the oh my god. And First Blood happens on the bottom lane. Kills all over the place. One for the Dire Tower. The other one, Shadow Shaman, goes down to the Dazzle, which was actually the First Blood, because if something goes down to the Dire, it doesn't actually count as First Blood. I feel sad for Nyx Assassin that he doesn't get credit. Static Storm coming out. It's not over yet. They want to go for this Razor here. He's already slowed. He's draining damage, but he's not draining enough, and he will get picked off. Dazzle might have gotten First Blood, and the second kill also going to Relax. Looks like Dazzle is going to get picked up, though, in return, as Enchantress came around. And look at that. She's got herself a Harpy. Kinetic Field doesn't stop that damage from going through. The Disruptor goes down as well, ending up on a 2-2 on this bottom lane, in favor of Ahead in terms of getting the First Blood. But the later kills got taken by Relax, and that means that they actually get a little bit more experience, because I believe some people got level 3 off of those kills, which did not happen. But he got level 2 off of those kills, and now Relax killed off the level 2s, and they got level 3 off the back of that. So in a way, it actually puts Relax ahead, despite losing First Blood.
Yeah, I would say that generally comes out slightly ahead for them. And the worst thing now is that this Harpy is in here.
Yeah.
And this Harpy, while she's still up, I mean, it's almost a joke, right? How strong this Harpy is. It very rarely comes up, but it's so strong. And you can see them, they're focusing down on it. They even use the Poison Touch just to get rid of it, even though it's almost timed out.
Yeah, that's a lot of mana used for that as well. So yeah, it's an important target to take out. I think I introduced everybody of Relax, yes. I mean, 5 kills on the board. We still have yet to introduce Ahead Gaming, but not a problem. This is, after all, CIS Dota. Of course, once again, you are watching the excellent Moscow Cup with the excellent kills going on here. Excellent action.
Yeah, on the side of Ahead, on the safe lane here, they have the 2 supports, Eknar, as well as Jean on the Dazzle, as well as Disruptor, the 2 Ds for their team, combining up together. Their carry in that lane, though, it is Seema the Slayer. He's going to be on the Slardar, the solo mid for the team. It's Aloha Dance here, going up versus the Ember Spirit, and he seems to be doing okay here, but this lane not going as far in the way of Viper as I would have expected it. In fact, it's pretty much even,
Oh, wait
and
a
last but not
second.
least,
Wait a
off lane
second.
168.
Wait, dive, Jane, shackled. Is there some follow-up damage? The Ursa actually got clapped. The kill is still going to Enchantress, though. Ursa does get taken down by the Slaughter, and they're trying to take down the Dazzle. What am I saying? Trying for. They get the
They
Dazzle
have
as well,
the
but
Hex.
it's 2
They're not
down,
using it, though.
1 to go. Seema, can they actually stop him? He's too fast with that haste. So that's going to be him out. I guess he doesn't have to go for face boost if he got haste. Kind of forgot about that for a moment. But that's 2 extra kills going the way of Relax, so that level advantage making a difference already. And yes, you actually said it 168 for
Radiant's
Sparrider,
bottom
but
tower is under
you wanna
attack.
give
Yeah,
him
I
some
just
proper
snuck it
credit.
in there.
Yeah. And actually, I like the lane. I mean, Sheklo lives. He of course didn't die earlier on, but on top of that, he's managed to burn all the mana from the Batrider. He already got himself the energy booster for his own mana boots. And Batrider, he kind of like he wants to spam out his sticky napalm. Of course, that is his only way to try and get a kill over the next assassin at some point. But without mana, he cannot do that. So good going on him as Tema Wild gets an invisibility rune. This could turn out to be scary for something, although as an Ember Spirit you probably want to just wait. Batrider, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, Batrider. He's gonna be able to get away safe, but that's scary. Mana boots now for the next assassin. I think he
Yeah,
can turn
that's
around and kill him.
dangerous. This Batrider's struggling in this lane, and like you said, that mana burn, it hurts him a lot. Not just because he can't, he can't try and force the Nyx assassin into
kill
a
him.
bad situation, but yeah, he's gonna go for the kill here.
There we go.
Oh, just cut down there.
I love how he did that, by the way. He dropped his mana boots, then used the stick charges, then went back in and picking up his mana boots again, and then went in because he had enough mana at that point. As in the meantime,
Yeah.
the Invis rune actually set up for a kill on the Viper, or at least helped with the kill on the Viper, let's put it that way. Shadow Shaman coming out to help out for that one as well. Another kill for Relax, so they are definitely doing good here in this game.
Yeah, Relax. They're showing their aggression early, and this is nice for them. The Ember Spirit, I was talking about how earlier, he'd probably need the Flame Guard build. Now that he has the Razor on his team that can actually go up and start the fights off, he doesn't need so much to be right in the front of the fight, despite the fact that he'll do most of the damage early on. He'll do more damage with Flame Guard, but he can sit back with the...
Action 24/7. In comes this crush, but I don't think it matters. The Great will matter for a moment though, and there's no extra hit coming out. The Dazzle will still get picked up. Razor was able to steal 84 damage. The crush is there though. They can't go in on him, not without the damage on the Slaughter, but at least they stop him from chasing. And that is as good as it gets for them for the moment. But the combination is scary. And now also with the ward, actually,
Radiant's
Seema, what are
bottom
you doing
tower
here?
is under
Has
attack.
got a crush. Has the vision as well. In they come. The tower is already dead though, and Seema changes his mind and goes back.
Yeah, and now up on the top lane, Tema Wild, he's going to go after the Batrider here, but both of them just jumping after each other. Looks like Tema Wild, he has caught him up with the shearing chains, and he will go down here.
Okay, nicely done. Onyx already being called. It is 2 for 9. The only 2 kills that happened were the ones very early on in the game, and by this time, this is when the levels are starting to hurt, because if we look at this, we have got level 5 on Windix, which is the lowest level together with the Razor, but they actually gave Shadow Shaman a little bit more levels. He's now level 6. He has got the ward. The glimpse is there to stop the shackle. He is still draining damage though. He is draining a lot of damage. One hit is going to do the trick, but he's not going to get that in. Not with that haste coming out. Now in comes 168 looking for maybe a lasso. He has it. He has to be careful though, because that Razor hurts like hell, and one more hit will get the job. There we go. That's going to be an extra kill, and that's going to force the rest of the head away. And with the Shadow Shaman Serpent wards up, I think they actually could try to still initiate this and maybe even take a very early second tower. And that's going to give them an even larger gold boost than they already had. Look at those gold differences. Just look at that. Net worth.
Yeah, the net worth is hugely in favor for Relax. At this stage of the game, you do not expect us to be that far behind, and this is what happens when you win an aggressive tri lane. A try on try is one of the most dangerous early game deciding things that can happen, and the problem for Ahead is they don't have a mid game carry who does a lot of damage. They have a Viper, which is more built around having a mech and standing in the fights for a while, but that's not going to work if he goes down. He does actually manage to pick off the Ember Spirit in the mid lane.
Yeah.
The Ember, he is being shut down a fair amount here. He's not farming particularly well, but he's got himself a couple of kills, and Relax's aggressive tri lane is paying off enough to the point where I don't think that the Ember being a little bit behind is going to matter too much.
It's only 350 goldish away from each other, and there's 2 towers down. That's putting Ember right back on where he probably wants to be. He should be, of course, losing the lane against the Viper, but at this point I don't think he really minds the way things are going at all.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible to win a lane versus Viper, and as an Ember Spirit, a hero who's, he's got pretty awful armor, that's not bad for him, and yeah, Relax, they're just going to group up in 5-man now. They're already strong enough, and the thing is they've taken so much map control, they started warding up the, actually no, those are defensive wards for the side of Ahead. They're warding their own jungle, but, I mean, with this Sleight of Fist spam, can they try and stop this? They don't even have a mech yet. It's very difficult to stop this push.
Yeah, mech is being built by the Viper. There is also no mech yet on the side of Relax. I was gonna expect the Razor to actually build that, but he actually went for Hand of Midas, so he doesn't have that yet.
Wow, that's an unusual pickup for a Razor. Not generally a hero you think of as needing too much in the way of levels and farm, but he can have issues farming, and he does need a couple of key items, particularly BKB. And yeah, I would have expected mech as well, but maybe they're thinking of putting it on the Enchantress.
Shadow Shaman. Poor guy. He is able to put down his wards, and actually, he is gonna be helping get a
What a
double
bait.
kill for Shaklo. What a bait! Yeah, that is the way to call that one. Impale getting a double kill, or at least Shaklo getting a double kill, and with the Dagon, of course, helping out as well. Hey, didn't you say earlier today? Oh, it's
Nobody
Dagon.
builds
Nobody
Dagon
builds
on
Dagon
Nyx Assassin
anymore.
anymore.
Nyx Assassin, professional Dota.
Well, Shaklo is a nobody then. Sorry, no, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
No, I mean,
that's not even funny.
yeah,
No.
that was not even close to good. But
Not
yeah,
approved.
I mean, Nyx Assassin with a Dagon. I guess the problem is that ahead they really don't have much money, right? So they're struggling to even buy sentries at this point. I guess it's a smart move because he knows he can initiate with his Vendetta. It's not like some games where you need to use a Blink Dagger to initiate because there's too many sentries down or a gem. You know, Ahead aren't going to get that for a while unless they get it on core heroes, which is problematic because they need their mech on the Viper, they need a Blink Dagger on Slardar and Batrider. And it looks like Relax. They're going to go again here.
Yeah, they slowed down the Slardar, but he sprints away for the moment. Comes the Searing Chains, and that's a Dagon kill. Disruptor dies. Lasso is still there, though, but the Spike Carapace was in time for the Nyx Assassin, and he's going to make it out alive. Another Slayer Fist coming through. The Shackles on 2 as well, as the Razor is in some trouble there. Might get picked up there by the Viper. Viper does get a kill, and he lives for the moment. Gets himself a grave from his teammate, and they get a kill. And should not get the Slaughter. They'll get the Slaughter as well. Yeah, should get the Slaughter as well. So that's at least something. Relax, get the Slaughter. But other than that, I think they kind of gave away a kill there because at this point, I don't think, like, it's a trade that's nice in itself, but I don't think they have to trade. They're so far ahead that trading, not necessary.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the very least, they still have control of the map, right? They're outside of the tier 2 sieging it a little bit here. 168, he's not got his Blink Dagger, there's no Blink Dagger on the Slardar either, so there's no initiation power from the side of Ahead. They're relying entirely on Blink Daggers to do that, and now they get the top tower as well. The Shadow Shaman wards a drop for it. It is denied, which is nice for the Viper, and he is going to pick up these as well, but it's still, like, look at the positioning of Relax. They have the map control, they have the farm right now, and they're even picking up Midases on both the Enchantress and the Razor, which is unusual, but I guess it secures the late game for them as well as this early game, which they've just secured themselves.
Yeah, and it has something to it. I just think that they could have gone for more early game items and perhaps ended earlier than what they're aiming for now. For the moment, though, I mean, they're still getting ahead. I shouldn't call them out on anything because they are still climbing in terms of gaining more gold, although the graph goes down because they're dire. They're actually going to be able to find the Batrider here. Searing Chains hit and jumping back and forth between Remnants. It is Tema Wealth that gets the kill. Quick kill, and that Batrider was still trying to find his Blink Dagger, which he still doesn't have.
Seam of the Slayer gets
Slardar,
kicked.
in comes Shaklo. And this time he doesn't actually go for the Vendetta hit, but he didn't need to. He has the burst damage with his Dagon. In comes another Searing Change. Does it hit though? No, it does not. Only on some creeps who've got themselves a grave. Viper alive for the moment, but his delay of execution. Perhaps he can do something to Enchantress before he dies. Nope, he cannot. Down also goes Dazzle and Batrider. Why are you teleporting into 3 enemy heroes with your team very far behind? GG, well played, call. 13 minutes game.
That was a fast game, and
I thought
Relax
this was
just
going to be the
walked
most
all over
even
them.
game of the night.
I agree. I think this is one of the least even games of the night, at least versus
Yeah,
Empire.
it is.
Both these teams put up a hard fight.
Yeah.
Relax just walk all over them there, and I mean, I'll say it again, games where you have a tri-lane versus a tri-lane can be decided very, very quickly. If you don't crush the other 2 lanes, and that didn't happen, the Ember Spirit got hurt a little bit as far as his lane, but he comes out and does some amazing work from his team 6-1 and 6 in the end. If your Batrider doesn't win the lane versus the Nyx, which he didn't, the Nyx actually managed to pick up the kill on the Batrider instead, and then a second kill as well. If you can't win at least one of your lanes hard enough to the point where you can do something, you just get crushed and crazy fast, and Relax just walk all over them.
Yeah, it's I was actually kind of surprised because I'm a bit impressed by Relax. It seemed like Relax was a bit too careful against Empire in that first game that we had, where they didn't dare put up
Yeah.
an aggressive trial in against that gyrocopter. But when they're confident that the odds are in their favor and are not afraid of the enemy team, well, it shows. They actually run over ahead, like you say. While, I think if they were maybe a little bit more confident against Empire, they would have had a better shot there. Ahead, though, I mean, their draft was not as strong as I think it could have been. But overall, they also got kind of outplayed.
Yeah, I think really more than anything, I think it was just outplayed. The Viper, he's not able to get up his mech fast enough. Whilst he gets a fair amount of last hits in the mid lane, stuff happens just too fast for him, and their team is too reliant on picking up these early 2k gold items. Slardar needs his Blink Dagger. Batrider needs a Blink Dagger. Viper needs a mech, and their supports don't really need anything, but they're not going to get anything if you're just getting crushed in the lane, and that's exactly what Relax had. The Razor is one of those heroes that, he can fight without boots, because you steal the enemy's damage, and if your supports can help you get those kills, which they did do early, you're going to spiral out of control, and that's exactly what Relax did. They ended up getting a load more items than them. They saw the Midases and probably just went, we're not getting map control back, they're going to out-farm us, this game's just over, let's just call it now, and yeah.
Well played by Relax, and of course, this was our first day for casting the excellent Moscow Cup. It's not going to be the last day, because there's going to be way more days to come. It also wasn't the first day of the tournament. There were already 2 days before this one, but we're going to have approximately 3 games per day, with some breaks in between, but for now, for tomorrow and the day after that, there's 3 games each day. Tomorrow, they start at 1700. We're going to have Cleave versus the Retry, Roxkiss versus Virtus Pro, and Virtus Pro again versus the Retry. So those are going to be our 3 games tomorrow. 1700 CEST time is going to be the time when we start once again with more games. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you tune back in tomorrow. And thank you, of course, for co-casting G-Advance. Do you have any last shout-outs or plugins, by the way?
I don't have any more shout-outs or plugins other than, again, the usual myself. Twitch.tv/setmygibs is a sort of portal for everything. It's a double B because I can't spell, but yeah, otherwise, no, thank you for having me on again. Always enjoy to be casting with you.
Yeah, thank you, and of course also thank you to the excellent Moscow Cup and their team of admins who allow us to cast this one. And you can support the tournament. The tournament ticket is like, in euros, it's like 360 or so, and you get a cool sniper set with that as well. And you get 60 games plus in return for that, because there is an 11-team round robin group stage followed by LAN finals with the top 4 teams. So definitely a worthy ticket there to buy if you want to watch some nice CIS action-packed Dota, which today definitely proved is something that we're going to see for the rest of the group stage as well. At least I hope so. It would be nice. But yeah, tomorrow, tune back in tomorrow, 1700 CEST time. Thank you for watching, and have a great evening.